So welcome back to Alien Soldier. We're now at the worst set of stages. Yeah, that's right, the sewer doesn't just last one level, oh no. Levels in this game are pretty short and end after pretty much every boss. No, this is gonna go on for a little while. Now, first things first, if you fall into the water it's not an instant kill, but your health will drain. And the thing is, it's not like some games where if you get to 1 HP it'll stop draining. No, if you fall in the water and you have almost no health left, you'll blow up and die, and let me tell you, it's not fun. The game takes full advantage of this and tries to push you into the water at pretty much every opportunity. You might also notice that your health doesn't reset after that previous stage. So, since I was so close to dying last time, well, yeah, if I had been hit once then I would have died. Thankfully there is plenty of health. Now, this first boss sucks. Except for that part. That's pretty great. The shark just jumps up on land and he's like, alright, I'm gonna fuck you up, Epsilon, you're going down. Anyway, you're gonna want to spend a majority of the fight just hanging out in the air, because when he jumps past, he's not just gonna hit you, he's gonna try to drag you into the water, and, yeah, that is a huge annoyance, because it's one of those battles where he kind of just juggles you around. If you happen to get hit once, you'll get dragged in, you'll come out, he'll drag you back in, and it's just going to go on and on like that. Now, thankfully, this attack does allow you to get a little more health back, but not that much at a time, so if you're having trouble, it's not going to heal you to full, it'll just barely keep you away from death. Now, I think hovering actually kind of baits him into doing this attack more often. At the very least, it seems that way. Again, I'm probably wrong about that, but I'd like to think that if you hang out away from him, then he tries to do this attack a little more often. I'm going to Phoenix Dash him. Do be careful when using Phoenix Dash. I would suggest doing it like I did, where I started at one platform and went over to the other side. You kind of have to bait him into that as well. Just due to the fact that, of course, you can't Phoenix Dash yourself into the water, and if I were to dash into the left there, and yeah, that's what I'm talking about, hang out in the air, but yeah, obviously you will just hit the invisible wall and fall into the water, and that'll hurt. The water might not seem too bad at first, but it does get worse. And that takes care of that. Thankfully, I was actually able to maintain myself fairly well that time around. Most of my runs of that were extremely sloppy. Did I mention his name was Jaws, by the way? Because it is. Alright, well, now that that's out of the way, kind of forget what the next boss is. You're also going to want to destroy those water spouts, because I do believe they hurt. I can't say, though, whatever the next boss is, it is very annoying. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, I'm not positive, but I do know it's terrible, because pretty much all the bosses down here are kind of the worst. This is my least favorite portion of the game, I will admit. It's mainly because of the water gimmick and just how, maybe not unfair they are, but just kind of obnoxious. Like, the entire design is just made to kind of force you in constantly, and by the way, that's a health extension. I don't think I mentioned that in the previous stage, or previous set of levels, rather. But, yeah, we've gotten one or two of those before, and they increase your max health and, of course, heal you, so if you don't get hit by that guy, it's actually pretty good because you can start the next battle with a Phoenix Dash. That might be kind of helpful. Yeah, this is the exact setup. So, I believe this guy's name is like Kokami or something like that. I've actually forgotten it. So anyway, the first section is actually really easy. Just keep moving forward because he's kind of sucking you in. He's using lasers, and there'll be debris at one point. Yeah, now he's just gonna blow some air at us, but also random fish and lobsters. These do give us health, which will be very helpful. I'm going to want to use this, but I think he's actually at his second phase, which is where this gets out and out awful. Yep, he's on the right side of the screen, so now this turns into an auto-scroll boss. Real fun, right? So this is yet another one where you kind of have to be on the ball constantly because he is firing lasers and it's also very easy to fall into the water. And trust me, truth be told, I don't feel like anything here is timed very well. Like, either you're going to get hit by lasers or you're going to fall in. This is basically what saved me here, just keeping in mind that you can let the screen push you along. I don't even know how that happens, but it does. But yeah, just let the screen push you along. This is relatively safe. The moment you stop doing that, if you try to keep up, you're gonna get hurt. And yeah, homing helps, but it does not hit him from this side of the field, so you do need to be aggressive to an extent. You can't just hang out on one side for this side of the battle. There are safe spots, but you do have to put yourself in danger in order to hit him at some point. Because even if you sort of hover in midair in front of him for like a straight shot, then he'll still hit you with a laser. It's a very simple battle, but it's one that is just really, really bad. Everything's badly timed, and I don't really feel like it's possible to get in a good rhythm. I mean, I'm pretty sure there is a way, I'm just very bad at it, but it is pretty hard because you're constantly stressing out about either being knocked in or hit by lasers. Just honestly doesn't really feel like a very good battle. He's dead now, but yeah. Don't care for it. At least it's done. Now, the next battle is a little bit better. I still don't think it's the best designed, but certainly better than that guy. You know, I actually don't remember too much of this platforming, but it's kind of like the bosses in that it's like, you know, you should just fall in water constantly. You know, you better make sure you know how to actually platform, which wasn't exactly a necessity in the previous level. But here, yeah, there is a lot about just figuring out how you're gonna move back and forth between the floor and the ceiling without falling into the water or getting hit by anything, like that water spout. It can destroy the water spout, but you might as well just wait it out. Really nothing much you can do otherwise, and I believe we're almost at the boss. Well, not quite the boss, but the ending portion. And look, it's a teddy bear. We better help that teddy bear. I mean, look, he's saying help, so he needs me to save him. And now, he is going to drive our boat. Well, it's not our boat. I assume it's his boat, but he is driving the boat. So, yeah, Alien Soldier, the super serious game about being an alien soldier who must fight against a whole lot of very powerful aliens. Suddenly, we're just running on a boat, piloted by a teddy bear. I don't get it either. Basically, you just want to kill a whole lot of enemies. Do be wary, you can fall into the water. It will try to follow you wherever you go, but if you move too quickly, you'll fall in anyway. And oh, look, the boss. Well, can't see the boss yet because he's swimming after us. This is Polly Lobster. Like many other of the bosses, I just find this guy really goofy at the beginning, and I like him. But, not my favorite boss. Also, he murdered teddy bear friends! No! You'll definitely want to save Phoenix Dash for this. Basically, this battle is just getting into a good rhythm, which, you know, that's really most boss battles, especially when they're well designed, but it's a lot easier than getting into a rhythm for the previous fights. You just have to dash by his attacks, which, you know, are fairly slow and smooth. Basically, the most difficult thing here is pretty much just making sure you don't fall into the water, because if you start doing that, you're really going to screw up, and the nice thing is, he also just has this really easy to dodge attack that makes it very easy to also get health as well. And oop, this went horribly wrong. So I could have Phoenix dashed him a couple times, but I don't think I'll be able to do that anymore. Thankfully, what I did do really lowered his health to the point where I could just finish him off like that. And now our boat exploded. Hey, you can't do that. You're not at full health. Alright, so now I guess we're at some sort of water treatment plant or something. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that's supposed to be either. I think it's, I don't actually remember the name of this guy, to be honest. Weird worm brain thing. Oh, well, that wasn't even the boss, I guess. The boss is actually... Ah, yes, this guy. I believe this guy is actually Bug Max. Yeah, Bug Max. That's a frickin' fantastic name. Now, I don't remember this guy being overly difficult. Do watch out for his small shots. They're hard to see, but I'm pretty sure parrying them gets you health. At the very least, you can destroy them. Now, this guy does have two phases, and oh man, his health is not going down quickly. I guess that is the one problem with this weapon. It's not the most powerful. I think it's a little stronger than the spread shot, though. That's why I chose this over that. Not much going on right now, though. Just shooting him. Flamethrower speeds up the process, though, and now Bug Max has transformed. So, oh, I do not remember this boss at all, actually. He drops a lot of maggots, and you can destroy them for health. Does he, like, sprinkle powder or something like that? Or am I thinking of, like, every other bug boss in existence? Is this all he does? I legitimately don't remember this boss at all. Oh, that's right, he's got that annoying tongue attack, which... maybe it's just me, but that seems to really blend into the background? Okay, maybe it's just that it's tiny, but you saw that, right? Yeah, that's another one of his attacks. Basically, just make sure you're behind him, because he can't get you like that, but otherwise, it's pretty easy, and I could Phoenix Dash him if not for the fact that I have basically no health. Ah, what I wouldn't give for a health refill. Ooh, and yeah. I guess the other difficulty of this portion is the fact that you don't have a very long time limit, so you have to kill him very quickly, even though he doesn't really take a lot of damage at a time. You know, the one problem with displaying a bar instead of a number for health is you don't know if he has high defense or if it's just a really high amount of health overall. Anyway, I actually just barely beat this battle, because, 11 seconds left. This is another portion where I was like, wait, what's that sound? And later on I realized, oh, it's the timer. Right, yeah, this game has one of those. Kinda wish it didn't, because I like fighting bosses at my own pace. You know, as you saw there, but... whatever, it's there. Oh, crap. You know, as a rule of thumb, I just assume that all, like, dark light gimmicks are kinda terrible. Well, no, not necessarily. If it's automatic like this, where it's just like, oh, it's mostly dark, but then the lights come on, that is bad. I don't like light flickering gimmicks at all. They generally hurt my eyes, and this one is definitely not an exception. Did the Virtual Boy come out by this point? Probably not. But at the same time, you'd think somebody would realize, actually it's really painful to see red like this. Thankfully it switches to green and blue, which aren't really a huge improvement, because it's still painful to the eye while playing this, but... yeah, I guess it's not red, so I won't go blind. Anyway, this boss is actually really simple, it's just disguised as a more complex boss because of the lights gimmick. It's basically just figuring out what he does and making sure to sort of time it to yourself, like when he did that one attack which is just a back and forth, which, given I'm not the best at timing things, was a kind of a difficult gimmick for me, just because if I can't see it, it just makes it hard for me to sort of visualize where the projectiles are and how to dodge them. The bullets are a little easier because they're only on one side, you can just dodge the other fairly simply, but I really don't care for this gimmick. Also, it's kind of difficult to figure out that you need to go up here for just a moment. Oh yeah, and I didn't actually mention the previous boss's name, did I? I actually forget his name. But I do remember that this guy's named Sunset Sting, which is, of course, a very good name. Now, I will admit I'm kind of slow at times in that I didn't notice a very obvious gimmick. Those needles of Sunset Stings are actually very, very dangerous. You do not want to be hit by those because, as you can see, now my health is draining. So yeah, getting hit by those needles is a bad idea. I mean, you don't want to be hit by anything, but dodge those if you can. Just because, actually, to be fair, I can't even see the needle in me right now. It must have stuck in a very weird spot on my hitbox, but yeah, basically I believe you want to dash those off if you get hit by them. I don't really think this guy is too complex, though. I think the one really good thing about this is the fact that you might have your health drained, but his little projectiles right there, they all pretty much give you big health ups. They're very common. They do have a little bit of defense on them, but other than that, they can refill your health a lot. Oh yeah, okay, I don't blame myself too much in terms of missing those, because look at that. One of those is hard to see, and the other is just... it's in his little wing. That shouldn't be poisoning him or whatever's going on. Oh well. Take care of those, almost back at full health. If I could just stop getting hit by his needles, I'd actually be able to Phoenix Dash him and end this, but that's not happening. And he should be... I really should just, like, angle it instead of jumping, but whatever, he's done. Would have been over faster like that, but I guess I was kind of worried about getting hit by more needles. Right, so that's Sunset Sting down. And we already have another boss. Thankfully, this guy's actually really easy. Try to stay close to him so you don't get hit by his attacks. Most of them are outward, and he's already done. So, that was Mothra, I believe. So, our next boss is Backstringer, which, to be honest, is kind of a super stressful boss. He's going to be eating the previous one, and now the battle will begin. You can't hit him before now. So, basically, the gimmick of this fight is the fact that he tries to lower the platform down until it is destroyed. He does this by sending these tiny little spiders. The more they feed on Mothra, the more it'll lower, and if it reaches the bottom of the screen, it will be destroyed. Now, you can survive past that. It's just very, very difficult because you have absolutely no land to stand on, so basically you have to survive via floating. And let me tell you, that's not exactly the easiest thing. So, yeah, he does eventually send out a whole lot of spiders, and it's really hard to keep track of everything, and, yeah, he doesn't have that much health missing, which definitely worries me. I'm not huge on this battle. I don't think it's out and out bad like the Dark and Light one, but it is one that is just really stressful for me, so I don't like it. At this point, he's mostly just going to crawl around, though, so I don't think I'm in too much danger of being sent into the abyss. That being said, he does like hanging out near you, or being erratic. Which one? I don't know. Sometimes he just does his own thing, sometimes he goes directly after you. And he's kinda large, so it might be hard to avoid him. If you haven't noticed by now, his weak point is his butt, so hit that a whole lot. Actually, this battle is kinda simple at this point. So yeah, as long as the platform doesn't get destroyed, you're kind of home free-ish, unless you're an idiot like me and you do that. By the way, this is like the absolute worst boss to lose a lot of health on, because we're actually coming up on the next major boss. Remember G-Tiger? Well, guess what? Now we have another fairly difficult boss, and he's already attacking us, actually. Just dodge the lasers, they are very well marked. We also have a pretty cool setting for this battle. And here he is. Remember that guy briefly mentioned in the intro? The other Epsilon? So apparently this guy was supposed to look kind of like us, but I'll be honest, I don't see the resemblance. Right, so as I said, worst battle to be at low health at, because time is definitely a problem here. He's got a lot of health, and sometimes it can be hard to actually avoid. This attack, though, isn't too bad. Now, the thing is, I believe he'll do that attack more often if you hang out directly beneath him, as I'm showing right here. It's a time waster, but at the same time, it's probably one of the easier attacks to avoid, provided you just stay calm and make sure not to dash into one of his other attacks. Like that, I dodged that pretty well. The other difficult thing here is, see those feet of his? Those reflect bullets, so this is actually kinda difficult because you have to stand directly beneath him. I believe he has other laser attacks, and I'm trying to remember if he has any other attacks besides that, because the laser attack is basically what we saw before the battle. He'll try to lock onto you and shoot I-beams at you, and he does this constantly. Lancer, of course, is very helpful just because, unless he's moving around, it's really easy to hit him with it. That being said, he's moving around a lot, and I'm already out of Lancer again. Yeah, the low ammunition definitely is a problem here. Yeah, if he's in the center like that, it's probably when he's hardest to avoid. Just basically dodge out of the way at last moment. It's definitely a little bit of a worrying strategy. Oop, yep, I fucked up there. As you can see, that's why it's a worrying strategy, because you can't easily get hit during that. That being said, oh, that was a bad situation, because I kind of had to dash into his attack and then back out, but yeah. There are a lot of risks to that attack. I don't think there are any other attacks, but this battle goes on for a while, and it is very stressful. Thankfully, though, I actually managed to kill him pretty good. Basically, if you just focus your attacks on him, I don't think homing really does anything. Either it doesn't hit him or it doesn't damage him much. But as long as you keep on the offensive and actually hit him, and don't hit his feet, you should be fine. I am, however, close to death. Thankfully, you always stop at 1 HP before being killed. But, plot twist. See that planet? It explodes. Man, 2015 really sucked, didn't it? God, I hated it so much when Earth exploded. It was just the worst thing. And who's at fault for it? I don't know who that is, and I don't even know what I'm looking at. But I hate them nonetheless.